Hello everyone, my name is Kelsey Krieger and today I will be discussing the different monitoring techniques for polar bear research. The problem is that it can be extremely dangerous to conduct research on polar bears for both the researchers and the bears. These techniques can leave the bears with long-term ecological issues, can increase stress, and almost always leads to chemical immobilization of the polar bear. The first method is chemical immobilization via a helicopter. Projectile syringes are filled with immobilizing drugs and are then shot at the bears from a helicopter. The main advantage to chemical immobilization via a helicopter is that the bear is usually completely immobilized before the researchers are near them on the ice. Additionally, being in a helicopter gives the researcher a greater field of view, which allows them to find the bears quicker. On the other hand, Arctic sea ice is disappearing quicker each year due to global warming, so if the bear is darted on thin ice or is near the edge of the ice, they can fall in and drown due to being sedated. If the target is a larger bear, multiple darts may need to be used. Also, long-term side effects can occur, mainly with female polar bears. The second method is a culvert trap. This is a large steel cylinder trap with a door on one or both ends of it. Bait is used to lure the bear into the trap, and the door will close behind them once they interact with the bait, trapping the polar bear inside. The benefits to a culvert trap is that they are highly mobile, can mimic a polar bear den, they are safe to use around people, and they can last a long time. The drawbacks are that it can be hard to trap a polar bear, and you may end up trapping a completely different species. These traps also add stress to the bears and can injure the bears and/or the researchers. The traps are heavy and will need to be routinely checked to ensure that they are working properly. Lastly, if a bear was previously captured, they can become trap shy, making them harder to recapture in the future. The third trap is an Aldrich leg snare. A cable becomes wrapped around the bear's leg when they step on a spring-activated trigger. The other end is wrapped around a tree to ensure that the bear cannot go anywhere. This trap is camouflaged under the snow, and bait is used to lure the bear near it. Advantages of the Aldrich leg snare are that it's cheap, effective, lightweight, easy to set up, and it's safer than other leg snares. Bias is also not a concern with this method. On the other hand, this method leads to increased stress and risk of injury to the polar bear. There is a chance of catching other species as well. The bear will need to be sedated to remove from the snare. The fourth method is sedating the bears from the ground with a dart gun. This can be done from the researcher traveling on foot or using vehicles, and it usually involves the bears ending up being chased. Advantages of ground darting are there is no need to obtain a helicopter and the research team is already on the ground with the bear. Drawbacks include increased risk to the polar bears and the researchers, the distance between the bear and the person darting them is decreased, and multiple darts may need to be used on one bear if it is of a larger size. More people are also needed to perform this method compared to others. My recommendation is that polar bears should be monitored by using remote biopsy darting instead of hands-on capture methods. These darts are used to collect tissue samples and they leave behind a dye mark to ensure no resampling is being conducted during the same sampling period. This method is also less invasive and less time-consuming and can provide genetic and sex identification of the polar bears. To conclude this presentation, I would like to acknowledge all of the literature I referenced to complete this project. I would also like to thank all of the researchers who devoted their time and knowledge to this amazing species. Thank you for watching this video, and please feel free to leave questions and comments down below in the comment section.